it was the right place for me. It was where I was supposed to be at that moment, like no doubt about it. So it's just funny how things work like that sometimes. This is Charlottetown, Newfoundland, basically at the entrance to Terranova National Park if you're heading west from St. John's, or specifically Mount Pearl in my case. This was planned. I wanted to come to Charlottetown today and just talk a little bit about something that happened. I actually was trying to get over to Clayton's Wharf. It's a real place. It's actually just over, it's not these wharfs in front of me, and there's a big dock over there with the boat. It's not there, it's actually behind there. Because of the snow, it was actually pretty much impossible to get down there. I mean, I didn't wear the right footwear to walk around in deep snow. We had a big snowstorm almost a week ago now, and there's still a lot of snow around, so you actually can't get there. And that was why I wanted to come and do this video from Clayton's Wharf. But I was there in the fall, and I made a video that I thought was right good, but nobody watched it. So I'll leave a link to it down below. And after this one, go take a look at that, because I talk a little bit more about the wharf, about the song, and about another song as well. I was in another location as well, but I digress. I thought it was one of my better videos, and it has one of the lowest view counts of all my videos. So I would invite you to go check that one out after this. But anyway, here I am in Charlottetown. You know, these moments happen sometimes where you just kind of feel like you're in the right place, you're on track, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I flew back home for the first time in about 4 months. I'm in and out of Newfoundland all the time now, but I was away for a little over 4 months, from basically around Halloween until a couple of days ago. So yesterday, I started this road trip. I'm going to be on the road basically for a week, going as far as Harbor Breton with a lot of stops along the way. My first stop was in the town of Carbonear, at a restaurant called Route 66 Diner. I stopped there for breakfast. It was a place that I had on my list to stop at for this other video that I'm working on, kind of like interesting, unique restaurants or coffee shops or gift shops, things like that, that I just wanted to make a video about for suggestions for anybody who is traveling around Newfoundland looking for places to go. So this place, Route 66, was on the list for that video, and I'm going to talk much more about it, and I'll talk more about Pauline, the wonderful owner who I had a great conversation with, and there's lots to talk about, and I'm going to try and keep it for another video, but highly recommend to go check that place out. Really small, cute little place, kind of set up as sort of like a 50s diner, but not exactly, not like Pop's place in St. John's, which is going to be on that video as well. But it's one of those places that it has its own character for sure. So when I walk in the restaurant anyway, it was kind of early in the day, and I was greeted by someone sitting at a table, and there's a few other people with her, and they're having some kind of a meeting. The server came over and greeted me. They brought me to my table. I got up, I was looking for the server. I wanted to ask her if I could take a few shots around the restaurant, just, some photos and videos, just to have it to prepare for that video that I'm talking about. And the lady that was sitting at the table that said hello when I walked in, I thought she was just being friendly, but she was actually Pauline, the owner of the place. Really, really sweet lady. I'm going to talk more about her. I'm going to talk more about the restaurant and more about one of her other businesses that's right next to the restaurant in that other video when it's ready. It's going to be a little while for that one because I still got to get to the other places. But she was really nice. She was just talking to me and telling me about the restaurant and asking me what I do and why I'm shooting videos and things like that. Well, Pauline was telling me, this is what they're working on, and they have these people at the table. And she said, "Oh, Ray Johnson from Buddy What's His Name and the other fellas is sitting at a table." I look over, I'm like, "Oh, it is too." He was sitting back onto me, so I didn't realize it was him. And he's one of my heroes, Buddy What's His Name and the other fellas. One of my favorite Newfoundland groups, one of my favorite groups of all time. They have the funniest songs that you'll ever hear, but they have some of the sweetest, most heart-wrenching songs that you can imagine as well. It's such a well-balanced group that I don't think they'll ever get the credit that they deserve, but one of my favorites. So I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to bother him. He's just sitting there having a meeting, but I'd love to just shake his hand, say hello, but I didn't. I didn't want to be that guy. So my breakfast came, I sat down, and then Pauline went back to her meeting, and they're talking about whatever they're talking about, and she leans over and she's like, "Well, he got his camera." I said, "Do you actually do videography work?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I do, as a matter of fact." She's like, "I wonder if you'd be available and interested in helping us with our thing." So I'm not going to say much about it yet. I'm not sure if I should or not. If I get permission to talk about it, or if I'm actually going to get on board with this thing, then I'll definitely tell you more. But for now, I'll just let you know that they're working on something really cool at Route 66 Diner in a little while. And I'm sure the information will come out, but stay tuned for that. Anyway, so I was thinking about how I could actually go over and say hi to Ray Johnson, but he actually initiated the conversation himself, and he was asking me about videography work, what kind of stuff I could do, and what do I do and things.
Boys raised so tall.
We had a really nice conversation, and I got to actually have breakfast with him basically, and we talked about maybe doing some work together. It was amazing. Like, not only did I get to meet one of my heroes, but I may potentially have an opportunity to work with him doing some video work for this really cool project that he's working on with Route 66 Diner. If I'm available, I'm really hoping I will be. I'm going to help them with this thing. The fact that Ray Johnson was there is just sort of like icing on the cake, but it sounded like a cool project anyway. Stay tuned because it's coming up, you know, in a little while, and it's just an interesting project that they have going on. This is Route 66 behind me. I can't really tell you what just happened because I'm actually supposed to be on my way to Bonavista Vista right now, but I decided to take a little detour instead and come check out Carbonear and go try this diner because I've seen it before and just driving through Carbonear. And I just had the best breakfast I think I've ever had. Food was great, service was great, place is great, all that. But Ray Johnson from Buddy Wass's Name and the other fellas just happened to be inside, just having a meeting with the business owner, Pauline. A beautiful little spot in any case, but just they were so warm and they were talking to me. The whole time I ended up having breakfast with all of them. And just Ray Johnson, meeting him in person was such a treat. And we talked about potential business opportunities, working together and stuff. It's just, you never know what's going to happen when you go for breakfast around the bay. So, you know, just a little quick video here to tell my little story about meeting one of my heroes, and to just share with you that I had that feeling like that this is exactly where or yesterday at Route 66 Diner in Carbonear, which wasn't really planned. It was the right place for me. It was where I was supposed to be at that moment, like, no doubt about it. So it's just funny how things work like that sometimes. But anyway, I'm just rambling here in this video. This is just kind of like me talking. But as I said, you know, that other video, I was really proud of it, and nobody saw it. So go over and have a watch. I'll link it up right here, okay? See you over there.